Good morning. Getting live in all the little places. All right, perfect. Good morning. Now let me bring this up on my phone so I can actually see what's going on. All right. How are you guys this morning? Make sure as you get here that you say hello and let me know that you're here. Take a sip of my coffee. It's a gorgeous Saturday morning here for me in Georgia. We had some extensive rain yesterday, which was beautiful. Freed the air a little bit. Of course, the temperature it's cranking up already, but I haven't been outside yet, and I'm sure that it's quite humid. Good morning, Sean. Good morning. Good morning, Carmen. It's good to see you. So I'm excited. And good morning, Wendy. Beautiful here. Woke up sick, bad sore throat. Oh, sinuses more than likely. Yes, I luckily I feel great this morning. So take some major self-care for yourself today, Wendy. That's for sure. Well, this morning, there seems like there's a plethora of ways to spell Vicky Carmen. It's funny because I see it all the time. And it's like people get very, very creative. I actually went to high school with a girl that she spelled hers Vikki. And I really wanted to do that. It was so funny. It was like, that's so nice. Resting. Yes, yes. Well, I'll be your doctor right now. Drink plenty of fluids, rest your throat, do some journaling. Like your doctor would tell you to do that, right? Of course, some doctors would probably help you a lot if they would tell you to, right? And I've been watching you, Carmen. You got so much stuff going on, girl. I see you out and about. And so I'm super, super proud of all your movement and your confidence that you're displaying right now. You're welcome, Wendy. She said, thanks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this affirmation and journal prompt for you this morning. So give me just a second. And it's funny because I had intended to stick that in the little place that it goes, and then I decided instead I was going to fill my coffee cup up. So I did that real quick before I got on here. Nobody wants to run out of coffee in the middle of a live, right? I actually invited Jesus today against my fears of not pursuing the relationship. Ooh, we need to talk, girl. All right, so let me today's affirmation. I leap out of my comfort zone with the enthusiasm of a kid on a trampoline. Now, doesn't that make it feel different? Good morning, Erlan. Great to have you here. So when you think of your comfort zone, and it's like, and you think about being on the trampoline, and if you've ever been on one, it's so fun, right? And you just feel like you're free every time you bounce up. It's like, I'm flying, right? And so it's time to kind of get the getting out of your comfort zone, that same kind of feel. So I talk about this a lot, that the emotion of fear or anxiety, like before you're about to speak or about to do something, when you're about to step out of your comfort zone, the feel you get in your stomach is almost identical to excitement feel. like before you get on a roller coaster, or before you meet someone, before, that excitement that comes up. And so we're reframing getting out of our comfort zone instead of being fearful. It's freeing and exciting, right? So we're just redoing the way that we're looking at it, because the way you look at things change things. And so if you think something's hard, it's hard. If you think something's easy, it's easy. And so it all comes down to how we're looking at things. And so, is everybody ready to be jumping on their trampoline this weekend? Over the weekend, they're going to be on their trampoline, jumping out, leaping out of their comfort zone. I know you're ready, Carmen, because you've been doing it a little bit now. So give me a yes or a thumbs up or something. Yes, please. I love it, Carmen. So what else you guys say? Are you ready to, of course, I know, Wendy, you're not feeling real well, so you may not be thinking this is a good idea. However, you're probably going to be feeling so much better this afternoon. And then tomorrow you can be leaping out of your comfort zone on your trampoline, right? You ready, Sean? Oh, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's interesting because there are so many times that I have held myself back drastically because getting out of my comfort zone it certainly didn't feel like a fun trampoline jump, right? It felt more like a firing squad was going to be right over there. And if it didn't go well, you were going to be gunned down. That's how it felt. It felt like that dire. If it didn't work, holy moly, what's going to happen, right? Yeah, I know you're not leaping today, but you might tomorrow. And who knows, Wendy, maybe you'll feel like a new person in just a little bit, right? We're going to set that intention for you, that you're going to be feeling beautiful. I'm going to send you some healing energy. All right, done. So in times in my life where, like I said, it felt like leaping out of my comfort zone was a do or die, that there were huge repercussions. And it was very unrealistic, but that's how it felt. That's how I interpreted all those feels, right? And now when I'm doing something that I step out of my comfort zone, I have a little bit of that that fear, anxiety stuff for a moment. And then suddenly I realize, oh, that's excitement. That's excitement. Everything's going to be fine. And the thing that I have learned that helps me tremendously is that it's not a do or die. If I get up and I do something out of my comfort zone and it doesn't go as planned, then I just release it. And I've had a few things recently that didn't go as planned. And when it first hit me, it was like, oh, then it was like, well, then it wasn't the right time. It wasn't supposed to go this way, the way I thought. It was supposed to be to teach me something else. And so I'm getting a lot better. Not perfect by any means. I keep telling you guys that because I talk about all this stuff and I can share all this stuff and I can share my stories and things that have happened. However, I still am not perfect at it today and never will be, because it's an ongoing process. And as we grow and we get out of our comfort zone, that comfort zone goes to a different level and we just keep doing and doing, right? And so my comfort zone has really expanded out to where it's at a different level than it was a year, 2 years ago, right? And so there are times that when I come to that place, it feels just a little constrictive in the moment, right? I appreciate this session so much. It's perfect timing for me today. Yes, Carmen, beautiful. And it's so funny that you say that because it never fails. There's something that I want to talk about because it's something that I deal with or I've been thinking about, or sometimes it's just in the morning I get up and I'm about to get on here and I think, well, the affirmation and journal prompt that I had scheduled for today, not feeling it. So I come up with another one. And it always seems like that there's at least one person that says, that's exactly what I needed today. And that's what I'm going for. I want to make sure that I'm really hitting home with somebody. So thank you for being here today, Carmen. And, for the rest of you guys, thank you for being here too, because I know in some ways, even if it's not something that you need right in the moment, it is something that you're going to need because we all fall prey to wanting to back off a little bit because it's uncomfortable, right? And a lot of the times we just let it go. We don't even pursue it again later. We just let it go. And so this is your invitation to look at your comfort zone a little bit differently, to feel it differently, and to actually look for ways that you can step out of your comfort zone. Because it's like, if you're a person that loves riding roller coasters, right? And you're going up and up and up and you hit the top of that hill and then you start going down. Oh my God, is it thrilling, right? You lose your stomach. You're excited. The wind's in your face and you're just having an amazing time, right? But there's a lot of anxiety, even if you've been on the ride before, some excitement, but a little anxiety as you go up because you know what's coming. And you get feet, and thinking about it beforehand is not as fun as the actual experience of it. So we're doing the same thing in life. We're anticipating this thing when we step out of our comfort zone and we're kind of a little anxious. We don't know. But then when you really dive in and you start expanding out your comfort zone, and because when you get out of your comfort zone, not only does it your physiology change because suddenly you've got this this thing that's going on in you of going outside the comfort zone. It's like your energy is expanding out around you and it's expanding even further and it just feels different. So just think about a time maybe in your life when you've stepped out of your comfort zone and everything went perfectly fine. Wait a minute, let me see. And how did it feel? Like when you did that thing and then it was beautiful and you felt so elated that I can't believe I did that. I did that. And I kind of felt that way when I started my podcast, because remember, I don't, if you might not remember, but before I started my podcast, I had been thinking about it for quite a while, but it felt daunting. It felt like I wanted to do it so bad, but I saw these other people that were so polished in theirs, and you could tell they did all this editing and it was so fancy and it was so all those things. And so all I could think of was, I'm not a tech person. And I'm not that eloquent speaker. Will anybody want to listen to me? I had all of those thoughts that went through my head that kept me back until I met Stacy with her workshop. And then it was like, my thoughts were, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I do this workshop and then I don't do anything. That's the worst thing, right? Because if you're like me, I've bought a lot of programs. I've bought a lot of things. I've got a program that I bought probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it's still sitting in my queue because I haven't touched it. But it doesn't mean I don't want to do it. It's just, it's not my priority right now. So I digress. But when I've decided to go ahead and do that workshop, and I did that, and I created my podcast, I did the little artwork, went on Canva and I created that artwork. And then I had my first guest. And at the end of that one episode, he looked at me and he said, "That was amazing. I loved it." And it was like, I have avoided this for so long because I was so afraid that I couldn't do it. And then it felt amazing that I had given this person a platform to tell their story. And it was like it made me feel amazing doesn't even cover it, but that's the only word that's coming up for me. But if I had stayed within my comfort zone and not even and said, well, the worst thing that could happen would be that I don't do it and I'm not willing to take that, right? Um, that would just be another letdown for me. If I had had that attitude about it and I had just not done it, oh my gosh, I just can't imagine because it expanded my life in tremendous ways, right? I'm not saying you need a podcast. I'm just saying that was one of the experiences that I had, right? You're the same, Carmen. So so look at your life at a time when your comfort zone, your comfort zone felt like there was something there that you wanted to do and it felt like I don't know that I can do this, and you decided to do it anyway and it went miraculously, right? Or it went better than you expected. And so just look at that. Where did that happen and how did that feel at the end, like when you got finished and it was like, whew, you know, I got some guns here. I am ready to take on the world almost. I mean, it gives you that feeling of that was amazing. I've got to do that again. So that's what I want us to start feeling. And so that's why I want you to go back and find a time. It doesn't matter when it was, whether it was when you were in high school or I don't care. Just there's got to be a time that you stepped out of your comfort zone and then was so proud of yourself or so excited that you had made the leap and did that. And so has everybody got something like that that they can pull out of their memory banks? So anybody got something that they can pull out of their memory banks? I'm going to hold on a second and just see where you're at. Yes, Carmen. All right. Anybody else? Oh, thank you, Wendy. All right, Sean. I think Sean's on here, and so is who else? Erlyn. Or I don't know if you're even still here, but if you are, can you pull something out of your memory bank that is you stepping out of your comfort zone and being so proud of yourself for having done that? Let's see. I need my Jeopardy music. Where's it at? If you can't, just put a no in. That way, at least I know you're participating. Let's see. I've got plenty of them that I can go back and pull out. When I was in high school, I decided that I was going to run for class president. But before, it was like I filled out all the little papers and all that stuff. And then when it came time to get up in front of the entire auditorium and do my little speech, I was so scared. I'll have to share. I wish I had a video of it. I really do. But I don't. But I started this off with a little joke that I had heard from some speaker that I had listened to. And so I started it off with, I'm so nervous. I feel like a mosquito in a nudist colony. I don't really know where to start. Something like that. And and when I think back at it, I think, what was I? 17, 16, 17. And I probably, I wish, I don't even know who I got it from, but it was the one thing that I thought would make people laugh and make me feel a little bit okay with the discomfort. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the journal prompt. All right. So today, what exciting leap can I take today, or what can you take today that will launch you into new opportunities and growth? Because remember, every time, my eyes watering from laughing at me, but so when you're thinking about this today and over the weekend, let's just say it's the weekend, right? That every time you step out of your comfort zone or leap out of your comfort zone, that puts you in front of other people and other opportunities for growth, right? And it's interesting that every single time I step out of my comfort zone, I end up finding new friends, new opportunities, new thoughts about me and the where my place in the world and how I can help other people in the world. So there's so much that comes from just actually taking that leap, that movement, right? And we talk about this a lot, about what we focus on is what we create, right? And what's in our world, because remember our 2000 bits per second that we're inundated with, when there's 50 billion bits going around us, but we're just to keep our sanity, right? We've got these 2000 that we work with. And so as you're going outside of your comfort zone, you're opening up the possibilities of what's in store for you. It's like the heavens open up, the light shines brighter. It's all changing you. And actually, some of the scientists now say that when you do things like that, that you're actually changing your DNA, because our DNA is really influenced by our thoughts and our feelings. And it seems strange to think about that, because we think, our DNA is our DNA, but it's always changing. And because if you ever listen to, God, what is his name? I always look over here at my books because I got books by everybody. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you've ever listened to things from him, then you're going to recognize how much we do influence our DNA, and we influence our environment, right? It's not just a haphazard thing that just you're picked up in, like the house in the Wizard of Oz, picked up, spun around, and thrown into this little place. That's not like that. And we have a hell of a lot more control over us, our DNA, our environment, than we could ever imagine. And so let's just start here with leaping out of our comfort zone and just see what kind of opportunities show up and how much we grow in the process, right? And to me, I will say there was a time in my life that I would have been pissed off. I'll just be honest with you, pissed off to think that the thing that was going on in my life was me, because I felt like everything was out of my control. I felt like I was my life was depending on what other people said and what they'd done, that I was just a victim of circumstance. And I would have fought tooth and nail for that because I didn't like my circumstance. I didn't like my life. And if I had thought in that moment that I had done things or thought things and that I had created that, I would have been angry to think that I was responsible. I liked the fact that I could blame it on someone else. And there's a lot of people that stay in that place. Well, I don't know how long I stayed in that place. I was there for a little bit because I just had so much going on, and just really, it felt more, even though I didn't like it, it felt more comforting to think that it wasn't my fault. Does that make sense? Yes. Yes. It's amazing how easy it is to stay in that place, right? Of being uncomfortable and angry. But then it's like it's in some ways it almost feels comfortable or comforting to think it's not your own fault, right? You knew it was your fault and you were angry with you. Yeah, yeah. And that's the best step to go forward, because before you felt that it was your fault and you were angry with you were probably a victim and blaming everybody else. Well, I can't say you were. That's the way where I was. To me, when I got to the place where I knew it was my fault and I was angry at me, that was actually a step up. Remember, I've talked to you guys about, and the release has been glorious, beautiful. I've talked to you guys about the emotional scale, right? I need to change windows because there's such a delay on this one. About the emotional scale. And like, I keep this right here. And anytime I'm feeling something and I'm uncomfortable in that feeling, I will look at where I'm at on the scale. And then if I can bring myself up just one or two little spots, then that's great. But sometimes when you look at this, two spots up doesn't seem like it would be a better place, but it is. And so to me, it's like when you're thinking about things and you're you're blaming others, and you think about it and suddenly you realize, oh my gosh, this is a total representation of the things that I've done, the things that I've said, the things that I've internalized that other people have said, and it's all me. And if I change this, this will change. Whew. For one thing, it makes you realize that how things are, if you don't like them, you have the power to do something about it. Because for so long, when you're in that place of despair and it's everybody else's fault, you have zero power, zero. And so it's an awakening when you get to the place where, okay, I don't like this shit at all. I do not like this. It's time to start working on here so that all of this representation changes, right? So whatever you're dealing with today is not representative of today. It's representative of the past few days or maybe the past few months, right? And so the thing that you do, if you want tomorrow to be even better or this afternoon to be better, begin, right? Begin right here. And so that's why, to me, this is really important because stepping out of your comfort zone can be gloriously freeing. It's like putting out your wings and flying for the first time, because that you can't move from where you are in that comfort place of misery unless you do step out of your comfort zone. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge leap. It just has to begin, right? And sometimes too big a leap is too scary. But once you can get into this place of recognizing that the The thrill of getting out of your comfort zone is so rewarding. And when you can let go of the expectations of exactly how it's going to pan out, then you're golden, right? So let's get back to the affirmation. Where is it at? All right. And remember, the affirmation, we're going to put it on our sticky notes, our index cards, our screensaver on our phone, on our with a chalk marker on our mirror, wherever you want to put it. But put it somewhere that today you're going to be reminded that this affirmation, I leap out of my comfort zone with the enthusiasm of a kid on a trampoline. And every time something comes up, I want you to almost take this visual of you on a trampoline, just jumping and laughing. And every time you come up, you put your arms out and you're laughing and you're just having a good time. Right. And if you've got a group of people that you can imagine, they're with you jumping and leaping out of their comfort zone, do that. Because, we enjoy having other people that are on the same journey, right? That's why I love this group, is because we're all on this journey together, leaping on our trampoline out of our comfort zone. And it's a beautiful thing because we can support each other. We can leap together. We can hold hands and just pull each other into our best self. And so I invite you right now, today, to imagine you and imagine some of the people in the group holding hands on this trampoline, just leaping with joy out of your comfort zone and into a better life, into the best life you could live, right? All right. So then our journal prompt. What exciting leap can I take today that will launch me into new opportunities and growth? Now, I really want you to sit with this one a little bit today. And I will a little bit later because this morning I've got I got clients and I got things that I'm going to be doing. And so my time with this is a little bit later today. But I'm excited about sitting down and doing this. And so get your journal, get your notebook out, put the date at the top, put the affirmation and the journal prompt because they go together so well. And then sit for a few moments and just get quiet, breathe, get that chatter down, stop worrying about what you're going to do for lunch or whatever is popping into your head, right? And what helps me with that is to focus on the sounds in the room. Or if you're outside, the focus on the sounds around you, the feel of the breeze. And even in here, the ceiling fan's going, I can feel the breeze. And I can stop and I can listen. And when you listen, you're bringing yourself into the present moment. And when you can get into the present moment where it's just you, your breath, God, the divine, the universe, whatever your belief is, and then the thoughts will just pour in. And that's when you just brain dump everything that comes up, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how silly, no matter how scary, right? Because sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to put that one down because I certainly don't want to try that one. Anyway, you don't have to do a damn thing with it. But once you put it down there, you've taken ownership of it and it becomes yours if you choose. And so spend some time today doing that. And you're going to be surprised when you come back in 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it may be. Hell, even, in a week, it may be very, very different for you. But coming back and looking at where you were, it's beautiful, right? And so let me think for just a second. Let's see where we are on time. I'm going to, I've told you several times that there's a picture of me that is when it wasn't even at my heaviest, but I have a picture. So hold on, I'm going to see if I can share my screen and just see if I can, and I will just show you because we can measure. Oh heck, I just want to look at my entire screen, right? I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. And why is it not letting me share? Okay. Let's do a window. Okay. Let's do it this way. Okay. So now let's see. How can I get to my, here, let's do it. I'm going to swoosh that down. And then here we go. So let's see. You can't see. It won't let me. Doggone it. Let me see if I've got it in. Well, it's not going to let me share. So anyway, I will share it in the group because it's not letting me share on my screen because it's actually on my desktop. But let's see if I can do it this way. Hold on. Give me a second. Just bear with me. We'll play a little bit this morning, okay? Let me see if I can. Let's see what's on here. All right, we're going to share here. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to, where are we? So hold on a second. I don't know, if you guys can even see, but I'm going to, well, let me look at downloads. Heck. All right. I don't know. I can't do it. So, I don't want to do that. I want to just stop sharing my screen. Stop screen share. Okay. I'll put it in the group. Obviously, it's not wanting me to share it right now. I see you email. Okay. Well, like I said, it's on my screen. I thought I could just pop to the downloads, but it doesn't appear to want to let me do that either. So when I get off here, if I have time, I will share it in the Facebook group. But like I said, this is not even the time that I was the heaviest, but because if you're anything like me, the heavier I got, the more I hid behind people or didn't have my picture made at all. And so it was only reason I was in the screen like I am in this picture is because I was on a cruise. And so I got in the picture, and actually I had lost a little bit of weight before this picture, and I thought I looked damn good. And like there's one picture that is so funny of me. It was I lived in an apartment at the time, and they had this big pond and there was a fence. And so I had a picture, a friend was taking a picture of me, and I was at the gate and I was looking and all that. And it was actually because I was going to go on a dating site, and it was my profile picture because I thought I looked damn good because I had lost some weight. And then when I looked back at that, I thought, oh, I hated that picture because it was like all I could focus on was my tummy and all the things that I didn't like about me, right? And it took me a long time to finally get to a place where it was like, I'm just me and I'm proud of me. And not to say that I always feel that way, because there are times that I'll still pop into that place of, you know what I mean? So, all right. So let's just think. Hold on. I'm just checking my windows here. So as we're going through our day-to-day, make sure that you've done this affirmation in the journal prompt, and you're taking some time to just journal about it. And the reason I was going to share my screen with my picture was because I don't remember in my mind being that big. And even though I know I was, to see it is very different. And it's the same with us when we're doing this process, right? Is we're making strides and getting outside of our comfort zone, and we're changing and we're growing. And it just becomes, that's who we are. and we don't recognize how far we've come. And the reason it's important to recognize how far we've come is because sometimes we will find ourselves wherever we are and we're looking at it thinking, oh, I can't believe I'm not where I want to be, right? Or maybe we're saying, I thought I had more growth than this, or whatever it is that's coming up. And so it's a beautiful thing to have these measuring sticks to look at, to say, holy smokes, my whole world has changed and I didn't recognize how much, because we can feel it and we can know it. And for those of us that are women that have had children, it's like if you had two children, you thought you remembered how bad it hurt until you start going through it the second time. And it's like, holy crap, this is not what I remembered, even though you thought you did. And it's the same thing. It's like your memory of it gets very skewed, it gets changed and all, and we do not even recognize, right? And so I really, really want you to start looking and keeping these journals and everything, to keep a log of where you're at. And then that way, when your celebration time comes for something that you've done and you look back, the celebration's even more amazing, more vibrant, more loud, because you'll see how far you've come and how much more there is to celebrate. So to me, I'm all about let's celebrate all the amazing things that we do and change and become, and to be able to really, really feel it and see it. There's got to be something to look at to see the difference. All right. So I've got to jump off here, but I've had the best morning with you guys, and thank you all for being here. And for those that come and watch the replay, put hashtag replay and join right in with the conversation. Oh, okay, Wendy, you're on top of it. I love it. Wendy is always giving me the best phrase for the end. It has become her duty. Well, it's not her duty. She just loves doing it, and I love it, right? All right. So as Wendy so eloquently said, go ahead, leap into an adventurous day, and I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Mwah. Oh, before I forget, today at 2:00 in the group, make sure if it's at all possible that you get there for the live, because I got a special guest. I was on her podcast and we are excited to just share a little bit about our journey, but the stuff that she does, it's amazing, and you're going to love her. So please, if you can, be there 2 p.m. Eastern in the group. It'll just be live in there, and so you can participate just like you did this morning. All right. So what was it? You're welcome, Carmen. You're welcome. Hope to be able to see you there as well. So leap into an adventurous day. See you at 2.
Just as he would take statements concerning a law of electrical action, they were promulgated by our own yes. And taking the statements upon faith, that he will prove their truth by acting upon them without fear or hesitation. Every man or woman who does this will certainly get rich. For the science here implied is an exact science, and failure is impossible. For the benefit, however, of those who wish to investigate philosophical theories, sources, or logical basis for faith, I will here cite certain authorities. The monistic theory of the universe, the theory that one is all and that all is one, that one substance manifests itself as the seeming many elements of the material world, is of Hindu origin and has been gradually winning its way into the thought of the Western world for 200 years. It is the foundation of all the Oriental philosophies, and those of Descartes, Spinoza, Leibniz, Schopenhauer, Hegel, and Emerson. The reader who would dig into the philosophical foundations is advised to read Hegel and Emerson for yourself. In writing this book, I have sacrificed all other considerations to plainness and simplicity of style, so that all might understand. The plan of action laid down herein was deduced from the conclusions of philosophy. It has been thoroughly tested, and bears the supreme test of practical experiment. It works. If you wish to know how the conclusions were arrived at, read the writings of the authors mentioned above. And if you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies in actual practice, read this book and do exactly as it tells you to do. The author. Chapter 1. The Right to be Rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not poverty. To live a really complete, successful life, unless one is rich. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them with. Man develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of things, and society is so organized that man must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all advancement for man must be the science of getting rich.